Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Airspeed Prime here at my next YouTube video. This is going to be another Korra slash Avatar news update video, and it's just two kind of brief things to talk about. I hadn't really planned to do this video since there isn't really that much news to talk about, but I'll just go over what there is. One thing I didn't mention last week that I probably could have is just that there's this Korra fan art show slash gallery event thing happening on March 23rd and March 24th. It's going to take place in LA. It's going to be at a place called Monk's Place. I think that's some gallery in LA. And it's basically a fan run Korra fan art gallery. Anyone, I believe, can just kind of sign up for this and go there and showcase their Korra fan art at this gallery. And that's what it's all about, celebrating fan art. Mike and Brian are going to be in attendance on, I think they said both days, so the Saturday and the Sunday, the 23rd and the 24th, as well as some other members of the Korra crew who haven't been specified yet. Also at this event is going to be stuff like prizes, raffles, trivia, Avatar trivia, I assume, and some other stuff, but mainly celebrating Korra fan art. I suppose what's of interest, I believe, to maybe more people outside of fan art is that this is pretty much the first event that Mike and Brian will have been at that fans are going to be at, so inevitably they will more than likely be asked questions about Book 2, and more than likely will have to give some form of answer. So we may get some information about this over the course of those 2 days, maybe a hint as to when Book 2 may be coming, a hint as to maybe when we get some information, something like that. It should be good, we should get something. So that's the first bit of information. Second bit of information is a bit more Korra focused. This comes from MomoCon, which I believe happened over the past few days, and it comes from a person called Fangirly Fashionista on Tumblr. She attended MomoCon, and also in attendance at MomoCon running a panel were Sifu Kisu, a martial arts consultant for Avatar: The Last Airbender and Korra, Sifu Mani, who I'm not sure if he's on Korra, but he definitely did the kind of martial arts stuff for Toph's style. He basically designed Toph's style of fighting in the show, and also Steve Bloom, or Blum, who is the voice of Amon in Korra. So these three were at MomoCon and they did a panel, and at this panel they were inevitably asked Korra questions, and we got two pieces of information, both of which came from Sifu Kisu, and basically this is obviously a fan report from this con. We don't have the exact details, we don't have it on video, but here's the quote from Fangirly Fashionista on Tumblr. Firstly, we're going to be getting a sub-bending form of airbending. Kisu said it was going to blow our minds. Now, so first of all, what is sub-bending or something like that? That's basically the special ability of that bending. Waterbending has blood bending and healing. Earthbending has metal bending. Firebending has lightning bending, but we haven't yet learned one for airbending. A lot of people have speculated as to maybe it's sound, pressure, sucking air out of people's lungs or something along those lines, maybe even controlling the weather. So we're finally going to get that explored somewhere. The second one is that, here's the quote, also he totally knows who Lin's daddy is, but he was tight-lipped, so we're going to find out soon enough, I'm sure. So the big thing about how people have been reporting this, I put up a news post on Avatar: The Last Airbender online.com basically to just state like what is actually confirmed from this. It's confirmed that the sub-bending form of air is going to be in the show at some stage. The Lin's father thing is not confirmed. Now, the fact is that if Sifu Kisu knows who it is, that more than likely means that because he's not like a writer on the show or anything like that, that he's doing the fighting for Lin's father, unless he happens to know some stuff in the writing. So that suggests that he does appear at some stage in the show, but it's complete speculation. Nowhere is it mentioned that this is going to happen in Book 2, Book 3 or Book 4, just that the airbending is going to be in the show at some stage, and more than likely they're going to reveal who Lin's father is at some stage, Toph's husband or whatever. So they're the real two big pieces of news. Once again, The Search Part 1, the comic, is out March 20th in comic book stores and April 2nd in bookstores and from Amazon, so definitely support that book when it comes out. I'll have a review up next week on my channel as soon as I can get my hands on the book. and I'll have a review up on the site. So the final thing I just want to mention is that I basically wrote up a post on Avatar: The Last Airbender online.com called "Why You Should Be Excited for the Search Part 1." It's going to be linked in the description below, so definitely check out that post. And hopefully, my attempt is obviously to get people excited for that book by talking about the stuff that we know so far and why it's going to be a pretty interesting book. But that's all the news that I have so far. That fan art expo thing should be interesting, not just for fan art, but we may get some information. And then the Sifu Kisu kind of at the con news is interesting. That like a lot of people have wanted to know who Lun's father is. A lot of people have talked about the sub skill of airbending. We may finally get them revealed. So that's pretty much been my news video. Yeah, definitely check out Avatar: The Last Airbender online.com to keep up with all the latest news and discussion. And the Avatar Online podcast every Sunday discusses that news. So thank you for watching this video, and bye.